We have spoken about DPOs for a small and a mid-sized organization. Let's talk about how a DPO should ensure compliance for a large and enterprise organization. Welcome to my YouTube channel where you have been daily watching new content on data privacy. Today we are going to talk about how a DPO should play his role or rather his responsibilities when it comes to a large enterprise. Now of course a large enterprise could be a single country, but today the way the business dynamics are, it may not be restricted to being a single country company. Yes, we expect it to be 1,000+ employees, multiple offices. Why I'm saying may not be restricted to a single country company, especially when it comes to data privacy, is that a lot of your products and a lot of information about you and your users is available on the internet. And if you have customers across who access that, utilize that, and you have cookies that capture the visitor's information, then the visitor could be beyond your country. So you need to be very careful if you are capturing information on your website, because then some part of the compliance would trigger off from a different country. And all kinds of businesses today are taking services in some or the other from beyond their local geographies, provided they are themselves a large enterprise. So let's talk about the key responsibilities that a DPO of a large enterprise has. A DPO of a large enterprise now gets an add-on task to take care of the global regulations. All international countries, I think around 121 of them already have laws around privacy, and so therefore you have to follow their local norms as to how they define privacy and how they want you to use them. For example, GDPR has a different set of norms, and CCPA, the California law, is a different set, right? And in future videos we are going to talk about role of a DPO in each of the major compliances around the DPO. For a large enterprise, he has to have a mixed role where he has to manage the privacy offices of each country, understand their local laws, set up their processes with their regional laws, and then them reporting centrally into the global DPO, and the global DPO has to integrate all of them together to ensure that any process in the organization is able to match the compliance need in terms of privacy for all the countries. It is not restricted. And most important of that is when you are exchanging data. So you have to handle the compliance when you are transferring data between or across the borders, right? So you have to be very careful about that. What are the key responsibilities? He has to develop policies across departments as well as regions. He has to manage the third-party services across various regions, embed standard contractual clauses, the clauses required for utilization and for transfer of data within multiple offices of a single company but across borders, right? So you have to be careful about transferring data between countries, and then policies would be updated very regularly. Norms can change at any point in time, any country, and if you are multinational, then you have to keep an eye on all of them. Same comes when it comes to providing the employee training and awareness for a large enterprise. We have been talking of training one office or one country employees, build their awareness. Now we have to talk about multiple compliances, multiple countries, especially for those employees who deal with or who handle the personal information of any user, including employees of a different country within their own organization as well. So they need to be trained on privacy laws of their country plus the laws of the countries with whom they are handling the personal information, and integration between the two. How do they handle the personal information of their own people such that it stays compliant with the other offices of the same company which are across the border. Policies and documents should be created keeping in mind the global impact of privacy. Then you have the risk management and audits. Again, there are processes for every country, there are timelines for every country. So you need to understand that. For example, GDPR says that you analyze your incident and then you analyze whether you classify it into a breach. And the moment you say it's a breach, you have to analyze the impact, find out the ways to mitigate the risk and reduce the impact, and report back to the regulators as well as to the user whose data is compromised or breached, or whose data's privacy is breached within 72 hours of the incident, right? And other countries have their own rules accordingly. So your privacy office has to handle multiple rules now, and therefore you should be ready with them. You should conduct regular risk assessments, perform regular audits, and audits keeping in mind not only privacy but also how the data is being stored and transferred in each of the individual countries. And then you should therefore adhere that your audits of risk management take care of both local as well as global laws. Then most important thing, breach management. As I said, every country has their own way of handling the breach, their own timelines of handling the breach. When it comes to a large enterprise, you are handling breach between countries, and now the data is being shared by multiple people. We talked of a mid-sized enterprise saying that you have multiple departments who are sharing data. For example, a customer is known to the marketing, the customer is known to the sales, the customer is known to the billing, the customer is known to the finance, who are collecting the money. Now we are talking of across the country. Right, so customer may be in a different country and his invoices are being handled from a different country. Right, so it's not only the inter-department but also processing. While the sales and the invoicing is being handled in one country, but he needs service within his country. So it's the same piece of information about one individual, which could be a vendor or a customer, is not only being shared now across departments but also across countries. So you need to be even more careful handling them. You should monitor and analyze the incidents, investigate the breaches and the impact of those breaches, and you should coordinate responses across different regions and across different regulatory bodies applicable for that particular region. And your policies should be updated such that they adhere to the local law, keeping in mind the global view also. Right? So it should not be that one country handles the law in such a way that the law is, the process is upside down for any other country, maybe for the same user. So you need to be very careful about that. Remember a very important thing, multi-country, multi-department. The moment you become large, the volumes increase, right? The volumes increase humongously. Customers are available all across the world today. So the DPO has to be more and more responsible when it comes to a large enterprise. Finally, you should develop a mechanism for post-breach security audits and user communication. And when you talk of user communication, again, because you are across countries, multiple countries, then the communication version has to be localized, as well as maybe you use the local language itself rather than not the global languages or your head office language. That's what I have to talk about the DPO responsibilities when it comes to a large enterprise. I hope you like my content. Please press the like and bell icon. Subscribe to my YouTube channel to stay updated on more daily new content on data privacy, and share your feedback in the comment section. Thank you.